Were you ever told that if you're a girl, you couldn't wear pants, and if you're a boy, you couldn't wear a dress? Now, I'm guessing you weren't. Over time, society's gender norms have evolved and improved, allowing freedom for many. But the journey to get to this was long and difficult. A dress can be used as a means of communicating information, such as one's class or gender, and it can also contain stereotypes based on culture, religion, or society. Prior to 1649, there were no notable disparities in the way men and women dressed. Both genders would dress up in elaborate costumes, gowns, and suits. The colours and shapes of one's gown would be based on their class, not one's gender. Lace, velvet, silk, and wigs were popular among the wealthy. A pink silk suit with gold and silver embellishment were thought to be absolutely masculine. However, these clothing rules began to change over the years, and instead of the wealthier classes wearing embroidered dresses and skirts, slimmer, less colourful garments had increased in popularity. A man named Bru Brummel aimed to create a new style of clothing by introducing simple, plain clothes for men in the 19th century. Yet these gender norms did not only exist for men, but also for women. Before the 1800s, strict laws were in place to prevent women from wearing pants. However, in the 1800s, a young woman named Elizabeth Smith Miller designed the first Turkey-style pants, which were meant to be worn under skirts. These early pants were made to allow women more freedom of movement and to have their say in what's right and wrong. After debuting this style of pants, Miller shared them with her cousin, who began to share them with the world. As a result of this action, pants for women began to be tolerated in sports and some limited activities, such as cycling and horse riding during the 1920s. In 1949, Richard Curl unleashed an indictment of women who revolted against the traditional forms of femininity. The 1960s and 1970s was seen as an era of challenging and dismantling gender stereotypes, a time where feminist rights and movements found a voice, and the fashion industry responded to these movements. We've seen gender stereotypes challenged and occasionally defeated in fashion and popular culture throughout history. Many men such as Prince, Freddie Mercury, David Bowie, Elvis Presley, and Elton John have challenged these traditional norms. However, one of the main men who have had a lasting impact through fashion is Harry Styles. In the span of a year, Styles established himself as someone who does not conform to gender norms when it comes to fashion. When chosen to be featured on the December cover of Vogue, he aimed to make a statement about clothes not having a specific gender. This is primarily due to the social perception of fashion as a female interest, and being associated with it as man has unfortunate and biased connotations. So his appearance on the cover was a major moment in his career, which sparked a firestorm of controversies. The photo shoot was accompanied by a lengthy interview in which Styles articulated his thoughts on clothing, saying, "When you take away this clothes for men and this clothes for women, once you remove any barriers, you obviously open up the arena in which you can play. It's like anything. Any time you're putting barriers up in your own life, you're just limiting yourself." Saying this gave others the confidence to express themselves through fashion, rather than being confined to wearing clothes that fit their gender. However, this statement also sparked major controversy around the world when Candace Owens tweeted saying, "Bring back manly men." By society's standards, manly means having or denoting those good qualities traditionally associated with men, such as courage, spirit, and strength. But why are there specific qualities that make someone manly? Why are clothes perceived to have a certain gender? In her tweet, Owens distinguishes between two types of men, manly men and feminized men. She makes a statement about how no society can survive without strong men. She also associates feminized men with cultural Marxism and refers to the Vogue cover as an outright attack. However, shortly after the Vogue cover and the ensuing backlash, Styles was crowned Variety's Hitmaker of the Year. As a result of this, they published an article about him, complete with a photo shoot. Styles published one of the photo shoot pictures the day the article was published, along with Candace Owens' own words, "Bring back manly men." By doing this, he was placing his view on gender and fashion front and center on a media platform big enough for everyone to see. The existence of gender norms in the fashion sector has been created in the past by power figures and social structure. However, nowadays it has become a concept that is constantly being challenged by many. The role of fashion is deconstructing norms about forms in clothing. There are labels of men being not manly enough and women being not feminine enough. Fashion wants to eliminate those labels and deconstruct gender stereotypes in the context of wearing clothes. Currently, many people are aiming to blur the masculine-feminine divide because of an idea that argues that garments have no gender.